everybody. Tonight is going to be the first in a series of videos that I've been planning on our Apache helicopter PC build. I'm going to make each of these videos as short as possible. And tonight what we're going to do is we're going to install our CPU into our motherboard. And we're going to be using a 9th gen Intel iCore processor. And this motherboard is compatible with 8th and 9th gen, so yeah, we're going to be using the 9th gen. This is a pretty fast processor. I mean, it'll run anything out there, any games, any programs. So yeah, it's a pretty hefty processor. So give you a close-up view of that. It's an i9 9900K with onboard graphics. Socket LGA 1151, which means it has 1151 pins, and they will correspond to the 1151 pins on this motherboard, as you can see right here. This motherboard's a Gigabyte Aorus Z390 Aorus Pro Wi-Fi. It's rated a gaming motherboard, but it'll run just about anything. So yeah, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our motherboard out of the plastic, static proof plastic bag that it came in. And we're going to set it on a box. It's the best way to do it so you don't have any risk of static discharge. But those days of static discharge are pretty much gone. You usually don't have to worry about that anymore. So where we're going to install the CPU is in this socket right here where I have my pet. Okay, and this plastic cover here is just for protection, to protect the pins so they don't get damaged during shipping and so on and so forth. This cover will pop off as soon as we install the chip. So okay, let's get started here. On the side of the socket there's a little lever here. What you got to do is you got to push it down, slide it over, and then lift it up like a trap door, and just pull it up like that. And inside here is your 1151 pins. You do not want to touch these pins under any circumstances, because once you touch them they will bend. They are very fragile, and once you bend one, it's junk. The motherboard's junk. You gotta throw it out. There's no way to fix it. So you got to be very, very careful. And then on this socket is a triangle right here in this corner, which will correspond with a triangle on the actual CPU itself. I'll see if I can get it close up a bit right here. If I can get it to focus in. And there you go. It's an Intel Core i9 9900K, 3.6 gigahertz. So if you look down there on your left bottom corner, you'll see the little triangle on it also. And that triangle is going to correspond with the triangle on the motherboard right here. So okay, let's get this put in. What we're going to do is, let me get it open. And what you have to do is, they make provisions for you just to take your thumb and your forefinger and just lift it out. And there you can see the CPU, and there you can see the triangle there down the left hand corner right there. Okay, so what that's got to do is that's got to correspond with the triangle right here on the socket. Got to be very gentle when you put this in. You just want to like gently just drop it in. Make sure those triangles line up. And you can see there I got this setting right evenly on top. And you just want to gently just drop it in. Like so. Okay, once you got it in there, you just take your fingers and just wiggle it the tiniest little bit to make sure it's locked in. So okay, there you go. The processor's locked in there. If I can tilt this up so you can see it a little bit better. There's a lot of glare from the lighting there, but move it down here a little bit. See if I can raise it up for you. And there you can see it setting in the socket. Now what you want to do is you want to lock that in. And the way you lock that in is you take this trap door and you drop it down so the notch in the trap door hooks underneath this stud right here. And you'll see when I pull this lever down that that's going to move forward. And it's going to lock underneath that stud. There's a lot of pressure on this lever right here, but don't worry about it. Just take and push it down and then slide it underneath the locking notch right here. And as you do that, this protective cover that the factory puts on there to protect those pins will automatically just come loose and pop off. Right there it is. You don't want to throw this away, because if you have to warranty this motherboard for any reason and send it back, they won't warranty it without this cover put back on it. So you want to keep this in your motherboard box. And so there, I mean, that's a pretty easy deal. You can see, you know, our CPU's in, locked down, and ready to go for the next core component. I'm going to do each core component in a different video, because like I said, I don't want to make these videos really long, you know. So to do this whole helicopter build, you know, it's probably going to be a series of, I'm thinking maybe like maybe 45 videos to do it all, because I'm going to do each thing slowly just to show you how each part goes in, and how actually easy it is to actually build your own computer. This motherboard here, it's a pretty high-end motherboard. It retails on Amazon for about $235. The CPU, sometimes you get them on sale, but they're around $325, sometimes $350 for that processor. But it's a hefty processor. It will do just about anything that's out there right now. It'll play 3D games. It'll run any program. It'll do simultaneously all kinds of things you want to do with it. You know, you don't have to worry about the computer freezing or crashing or anything. That CPU will handle just about anything. So that's a good one to go with, and the price, you know, isn't really too bad. I mean, they have 12th generation CPUs out right now. They're like $700, you know, and you're not even going to notice the difference between that one and this one. The difference is going to be minute. So, you know, this one's the biggest bang for the buck. You can also get i3s, i5s, i7s, but the i9 is like the best bang for the buck, I feel, you know, and it's fast. So, you know, just to make it simple without technical jargon, it's fast, it's good, it's reliable, and it'll last the life of the computer, or the life of maybe 2 or 3 computers. So okay, so that's our first video on the computer build. We're going to end it there, because like I said, I don't want to make these too long. And the next video we do, what we're going to do is we're going to install the storage. You know, most people know it as the hard drive. Well, hard drives are a thing in the past. You know, they used to be a big square metal spinning disc, and they're gone. What they use today is a solid state hard drive. It's about the size of a stick of chewing gum, and it goes right here. You can see the size of that right there. This is just a heatsink cover. What we'll do is we'll take this cover off, and we'll install the storage, and then we'll put this heatsink cover back on. But also later we'll remove this cover, because I'm going to put an RGB cover on it. And there's also a place for a second storage drive right here, which we're going to also do. We're going to put a secondary storage drive in it also. And this part of the motherboard over here is where we're going to install our RAM, a random access memory. And that's also going to be RGB. We're going to use 4 sticks of 16, which is 64 gigs. And what else will we have to do on this motherboard? That's about all we're going to have to do on a board to get it all ready for the case. Once we get this board all done, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the case itself up here and prep the case, so it'll accept this board. But that's, that's down the road for some other videos. So okay, thanks for watching. I'll make the second video in the next day or so. And if you miss any of them, you can just go on my wall and go back and check on the previous ones. Also there's these here plastic covers here that they put on the chipset. And, basically, you just want to take and peel these off. Because if you get to peel those off, once this motherboard gets hot, what will happen is this plastic will melt and it'll make a mess on your board. So, yeah, you don't want to forget to take this plastic off here and throw it away. You also want to keep your packaging for your CPU in case you have any trouble with it. You will need this to send it back, but I've never heard of any of these CPUs ever failing. So, but it's always a good idea to hold on to all your boxes for all your components. And like I said, you gotta remember to keep this in case you gotta warranty the motherboard and send it back. They'll want this cover on it. And I did send a motherboard back once, and the turnaround time's about 10 days. So usually there's no questions asked. You just get on their website, request a return, proof of purchase, and they'll email you the shipping labels. Just put it in a box, ship it back, and they'll ship you a brand new one. So that's pretty good. And these are usually, I think this one here is guaranteed for 10 years. So no matter what happens to it, except for the pins. Like I said, these pins under here are very, very gentle. If they check it and any of those pins are bent, they'll void the warranty on it. So you got to be really, really careful with those pins in there. So, okay, yeah, so that's going to conclude this video. And like I said, thank you for watching. And second video will be coming up real soon. So have a good evening. Thank you very much.